Cruising with a Case Handler, ladies and gentlemen, comes your way each and every single weekday morning at 8:30, Saturdays at 7 p.m., Sundays at 12 noon. I've got my colleagues here. Of course, I'm going to be introducing the case handler himself. I'm the broadcaster. He's the case handler. He will introduce the team at Pollock, Isaac, and Disico. All right? We've got the Meister. We've got the Maverick. But right now, it's all about revving up the lights. It's all about revving up the questions. It's all about revving up people to actually share the page right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to us on 93.5 WVIP FM, I am David Squeeze Anarchy, as you know. And I need for you all, ladies and gentlemen, to actually start sharing, okay? Start sharing what it is that you are actually watching right now. Share with your friends, share in groups. Ladies and gentlemen, share on your timeline again, share on other people's timelines. It's very important because we have attorneys that's going to be talking on personal injury. We have got attorneys that's going to be answering your immigration questions on Facebook. Also, I mentioned it earlier today, you can get your free immigration consultation. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I think I got you a gallery view. Yeah. All right. So call us here at 844-774-3529. Thank you so much for interrupting me, Adam Handler. Okay. I'm trying to get my spiel out, and you're typing there. But it's Friday. I'm loud. Okay. And I want for you all to understand, I am a happy man because we've got immigration attorneys on board that coughs occasionally, but they're okay. I know they're healthy. All right. That's the Meister that you heard, the one that was playing the piano. And ladies and gentlemen, right now is the time to call if you'd like to get a free immigration consultation. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make that call right now. That's 844-774-3529. Make that call. Reach out to us. We are ready, willing, and able to answer your immigration questions. If you do call now, that consultation over the phone will be 100% free. It will cost you nothing. Okay? I can't say it will last forever. So make the call to this number. Let me be slow with it before the case handler takes over and introduce the team. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844 PPIDLAW. The case handler, this man is an attorney that has settled once again, and I love saying it, well over $100 million for his clients. Okay, so Adam Handler, welcome again, brother. How you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. Feel Good Friday. Another week in the books. Another week of amazing legal work. So many wonderful things to talk about. We just before we started this broadcast a few minutes ago, a gentleman called me. His name is Brian. Won't use his last name. And I pick up and I say, good morning, Adam Handler, the case handler. He goes, oh, thank God. Thank God this wasn't a scam. Thank God you were actually picking up. I was so nervous that when I was going to call this number, it wasn't actually going to be an attorney. I said, no, you are in a good spot, man. We are absolutely promoting free consultations. We're absolutely here to help people. It is not a scam. It is not a scheme. And we had a wonderful conversation. So we are literally changing lives day by day. We've had multiple people join us as clients of Pollock, Isaac, Disico, despite the current conditions with respect to COVID, despite being out of work, despite immigration, the offices actually being closed, the federal offices being closed, but soon to reopen. So people are being smart. The message is getting out. People are laying the framework and the groundwork for a successful result, hopefully, once things open up. So I couldn't be happier with the way this week has gone with our show, with our practice, with my partnership. We just got some great news, and I am so psyched. So let's keep the energy rolling into the weekend. I want to introduce Nelson, the top gunner. We call him the Maverick. He is one of the partners in the immigration department over here at Pollock, Isaac, Disico. His forte is the deportation proceedings, and probably one of the best lawyers I know, and certainly one of the lawyers that I know that really wants to help and make a difference, and will take the time to speak to you over the phone for those consultations. And of course, if retained, will fight for you like you're his own brother or sister. And I also want to introduce Conrad, the maestro Pollock, who was tickling those ivory keys this morning. But look at the smile on that guy's face. That nobody is happier right now than Mr. Conrad Pollock. You can rest that assured. So,
absolutely.
Conrad, what's up, buddy?
Why is he so happy? Why is everyone so happy? Super happy this morning. You're always
the
happy.
Highlight of my day. You know, I look forward to this when I go to bed at night, and I jump out of bed in the morning. You know, get into the bathroom, shower, brush my teeth, and here I am. I have my cup of coffee, raring to go, providing information that is really essential and important to listeners out there in the Caribbean community and just the immigrant community in general. You know, we've been providing information now. Actually, yesterday was our 2-week anniversary, as a matter of fact, and I think we've been hitting a lot of the hot spots in terms of important information to provide. And also, as you mentioned, Adam, we've been bringing guests on. We had our partner here yesterday, Fred DeSico, talking about real estate and rent situation from both angles, tenant and landlord. We've had Ralston Dixon. Do we have a nickname for him yet?
The Yardman.
Okay, Yardman.
Oh man!
Also, was great. Provided a lot of important information. We had another associate of ours here on Monday talking about Ps and O visas, and the response has been great. I mean, our phone's been ringing like crazy, and a lot of people asking information, and we're providing as much as we can based on what's going on out there. And going forward, we intend to do the same. In fact, next week, of course, we're also going to be a regular fixture now, at least once or twice a week. But also, we're going to have one of our associates from the Immigration Department coming on. I'm not sure when. I'll let you guys decide. Andrew Shear, who is going to come on and talk about some relevant topics. We haven't decided exactly what yet, but we have to decide on a name. We've been back and forth. Is it the Shermanator we're calling her?
Yeah, well, listen.
She's listening. She's listening right now. So
she's taking those calls. She's taking those calls and signing up those cases. So she's been slaying them. It's great. Yeah. And people obviously.
Who's this we're talking about?
They cannot come on the show unless they have a nickname first. Everybody's aware of that now.
Right. So. Hey, listen, it's a radio show, all right? We are going to become the greatest radio show in the mornings. I see so many things happening. Believe me, we're going to have some good laughs here. But what's important also is that we have good attorneys, all right? We've got to, listen, man, I was bragging to someone yesterday, well, late last night. I'm like, you know what? These guys are really freaking good. I said another word, but, you know, they are freaking good, you know. So I say right now, I really, really want everyone, at least just listen to me. Even if you feel like you want to go elsewhere for legal help, all I am saying, okay, and I learned something a long time ago. If someone is extending to you something for free, it gives you an opportunity to find out what they're really made up of, ladies and gentlemen. So all I say to everyone that's listening to this radio 93.5 FM, you already know the case handler. You already know that there's no attorney on this station, off this station, probably in the nation, who's as good a personal injury attorney as Adam, okay, the case handler. However, now you have, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, the top attorneys when it comes to immigration. What more could you ask for? And guess what? You get to test drive. You get a test drive.
You get to cruise. You get to cruise.
You get to cruise with the Maverick, okay, the Top Gunner. God forbid you are in removal proceeding or you have ever been arrested. Do not go to any other attorney except this immigration attorney. He knows what he's doing, okay? You've got the Maestro. He's going to give it to you like it is. There's no one that knows enough or has enough experience as he does when it comes to immigration. So that's the reason why we say, people, it would behoove me not to tell you to call 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. If you call that number now, it's, well, you call it, I don't know what Friday, I call it Free Friday. All right, you get a free consultation. All right, 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529. Nelson, why so serious, man? You got that serious face. You got that face that you'd have when you're sitting with the immigration officer.
He's worn out. You know how many phone calls he's taken this week? My
This is
goodness
true.
gracious.
This is
Listen,
true.
just relaxing. It's Friday, and just happy to be here and be part of the team.
All right, no problem.
And also looks like we finally gonna have a nice weekend ahead. It's actually gonna be spring, which is another thing to look forward to. So today, hey, a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, but let's make it a good day.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, as we get into it, we're talking on immigration. We're going to be talking personal injury in a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to business. Conrad Nelson, public charge. I've got to reiterate that. I spoke about it this morning by saying tune in now at around this time to hear what is new. Every single person who has been doing or is planning on doing their own paperwork when it comes to filing where immigration is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, since February 24th, something came about, and I want these attorneys, Conrad Pollock and Nelson Madrid, to tell you what that is. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, they're getting so many consultations. I need for you to get on the list and get an appointment to speak with them. Get that phone consultation in 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Conrad, Nelson, either of you can jump in on this serious, very, very serious situation that some may take for granted. And as I always say, I'm always straightforward. Get burnt.
Well, Squeeze, the message is getting out. We've been getting a lot of calls this past week asking about specifically this question. People calling say, hey, I got laid off my job. I'm collecting unemployment. Is that going to affect my application for a green card? Or worse, is it going to affect my wife's application for a green card? We lived in, 3 years ago, we were living in Section 8 public housing. Is that going to affect me getting a green card? I declared bankruptcy a couple of years ago. Is that going to affect me getting a green card? I lost my wife lost her job last year because she got sick, and she had to go on I forget which program she was receiving, but she was receiving government benefits. Is that going to affect my green card? And the answer is it very well could. All of these different factors could affect somebody getting a green card. In the past, you come to the United States on a visa, whether you overstay or not, you marry a U.S. citizen, you apply for adjustment of status. Within a year, you go for your interview, and the odds were good you get your green card as long as you had no criminal issues, you had a job, you could support yourself. You didn't commit any fraud or anything like that. Odds were good that you would get your green card. Okay, and you can't afford to have a lawyer, or you're a smart guy or a smart woman, and you feel you can handle the process yourself. Great, you go and you do it, and and you got your green card. However, things have changed. You don't need me to tell you how things have changed. Turn on the television or the radio, or look at your favorite newspaper and see what's going on. It's daily in terms of what the administration is trying to do in terms of limiting immigration to this country and throwing out obstacles and hurdles in the way of people trying to legalize in this country. We all know about the ban at this point, which basically doesn't affect you if you're already here. It could affect you if you're not in the United States. But this public charge provision has always existed. It's always been necessary in order for you to get your green card, that you have to demonstrate you can support yourself, that you can be self-sufficient. And that's the American way, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, what the administration has now done, they have thrown up numerous additional obstacles to demonstrate that immigrants now have to prove or overcome, I should say, in order to obtain legalization. Now, as I just mentioned, if you've been in public housing, if you've received pretty much any kind of government benefits in the past, if you're not healthy, if you don't have as much education as someone else might have, if you're older or infirm or unable to work as someone else might, these are all factors that come into play. You have a credit report. These are all things that the government is asking for now. Previously, you could submit a tax return from the from the IRS, and that would be sufficient. No longer. Now you have to go to the IRS and you have to get a certified transcript to prove that you paid your taxes. There are all kinds of additional obstacles. Nelson, you can chime in a sec in terms of what those specific obstacles are and the different documentation that has to be provided. This new application, the I-944 application, is 19 pages long. All right, that's on top of the adjustment application, which is another 20 pages long, and the visa petition, which is another 15 or 20 pages long. This is not the type of thing that somebody can or should handle on their own. If you're intelligent, if you want the best for your family, what I tell people often, look at hiring an attorney, hopefully our firm, as an insurance policy. Most of the time you're paying insurance on a yearly basis. You're not using that insurance unless you need it. View us as an insurance policy, because I'm telling you, those people that are going to go out there and file for adjustment of status a year and a half down the road, prior to their interview, they're going to be hit with over the head like a sledgehammer with this new provision in the law. And then you're going to look back and you say, I remember that lawyer was talking on the radio that time about that 944 application. What was his name again? Conrad Pollack. That was my name. And it will be then as well. That's why I'm telling you, really take advantage of the opportunity we're providing. We're offering this information for free. And by the way, Squeeze, guys, pretty much every call we get, the first thing someone says, I am calling for my free consultation. Right? We love it. And we love it. Nelson, feel free.
Yeah, so just to chime in a little, one of the biggest disadvantages about attempting to do this form on your own is that now you've basically put yourself on the radar. Now immigration knows you're here illegally, and you are trying to adjust status. Immigration can do one of two things. They can either issue a request for evidence asking you to supplement the record with any information that's missing, or if you don't respond and you don't have the information available, they could deny your case and potentially put you into removal proceedings. A lot more expensive to have an attorney represent you in removal proceedings than it is to have an attorney assist you with adjustment of status. So I think that's something that's important and that people should keep in mind.
Got you. Once again, folks, I am here with obviously the team, okay, of Pollack, Isaac, and Nisico. And ladies and gentlemen, we want for you to understand we're talking on immigration. This new rule, I don't know what do you guys call it? This thing that came out on the 24th. What's the name of it?
It's called the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. It's actually Form I-944. It's a new form that went into effect on February 24th, 2020. Anyone filing for adjustment of status on or after February 24th, 2020 is required to complete this form and provide the supporting evidence.
19 pages long.
Correct.
I believe I'm a bright guy. You all may not think that, for all four of you, but I think I'm a bright guy. But I don't want to deal with 19 pages.
You know what I think 19 pages. You know what I think 19 pages is? I think it's 19 different ways to screw your case up. Honestly, it's
19 different ways the government is trying to screw you. That's
also that's just the application. Knock yourself out reading the instructions. Right? I mean, obviously, to take the time to read the instructions, you got a lot of time on your hands. So, if the application is 19 pages, I imagine the instructions are going to, you're looking at what, 20 something, 30 pages? Good luck.
And you want to know what it is? Conrad has got a smile on his face, but it's not a kind of smile that he wants to have on his face. Nelson has, is stern about it. Okay. So they're both serious because they know that a lot of people that's listening to 93.5 FM, watching Adam Handler in that pink sweater, all right, a lot of people out there who's doing all of this right now, okay? A lot of people out there right now who's watching a case handler in that shirt. You're not going to listen to Conrad. You're not going to listen to Nelson, and you're going to screw it up. And you're not going to listen to the guy yelling, big mouth guy Squeeze. I got the biggest mouth on the station and the loudest. You're not going to listen. And then you're going to call up and say, hey, can I speak with the Maverick or the Maestro? I didn't listen to you guys and I messed up everything. And you may be put in I'm more concerned about you being put in removal proceedings. I don't want that to happen. So once again, here's what I'm simply saying. Before you do anything with immigration, call the number I'm about to give you in 5 seconds. It is a 100% free consultation off the air. The number is 844-774-3529. Be prepared to do that consultation with one of the attorneys over the phone when you dial 844-774-3529. This is Cruising with the Case Handler. This is where we speak on personal injury and, yes, immigration. And we brought about and discussed a very important point. The Declaration of Self-Sufficiency.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. And I want for everyone to understand this is something new. Do not file your case yourself when it comes to immigration. Do not screw it up. Don't screw up your relationship here in the United States with your loved ones. Don't get separated. Don't get put in deportation. Call the firm right now. Get that free consultation. There's no one else who has ever done this in the history of me talking immigration talk, but what it is that I see them doing by giving a 100% free consultation continuously. So once again, make the call, 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. Call before the top of the hour and get your free consultation.
You know what?
774-3529. Before we kick it to Adam. Yes, Conrad.
No, don't take my word for it. Google the application, I-944. Go on the USCIS website and Google the application and see for yourself, right? And see what the types of documentation that you're being requested to provide.
On Monday, we'll share it on Facebook. We'll scroll through it. I'll do that.
Sure.
Good idea.
Look, there are so many different things we can talk about with regard to immigration. There's so many bad things that are going on out there. But this is a killer. I mean, this is in my own opinion, the administration, they're always searching for ways, as I said, to throw obstacles out in front of
right.
Whether you're in the country or not. This is a strike right at the jugular. They really knew where to hit the immigrant community, particularly the less well-off community, the immigrant community, the target community that they've been looking to diminish the numbers coming into this country. They know exactly what they're doing, and they went right for the jugular here. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, we are here to help, and we know how to navigate this obstacle course that they've thrown out there. So give us a call.
And it's not just the immigration cases. You know, we stress every morning the importance of having an attorney when it comes to immigration, but what about having an attorney when you have an immigration issue and a personal injury issue? There's no better, in my opinion, and I think probably pretty much everybody out there would agree with me. There's no better place to be if you're an out-of-status immigrant or you're a family of out-of-status immigrant and there's a personal injury case, because not only am I going to be working and my team's going to be working to get you absolutely top dollar for your medical bills, your time out of work, and your pain and suffering, but Conrad and Nelson and Andrea and Alex and all the other wonderful immigration attorneys are going to be fighting to make sure that you are allowed to still remain here in the United States and get the medical treatment you need, and of course help legitimize your status. So if and when we get that big successful reward for you, you'll be able to use that productively and really change your life for the better and change your family's life for the better. But again,
or Adam, how many times have we extended the visas of clients of yours because they need to be here
numerous times, and I'm actually working on getting them on our show, broadcasting from Jamaica. That would be incredible. So I'm going to start working on that. But I just want to give that number out a couple more times before we get to the top of the hour, and it's super important. The reason why is, it doesn't matter if it's personal injury or immigration. We are not calling you unless you have our number saved, unless you know about our firm. You will never have access to good attorneys. I'm not coming up to you at the scene of the accident. I'm not coming up to you in the hospital. I'm not coming up to you at a doctor's office. Those are shady lawyers. You can rest assured that they are not going to do the same kind of quality work as we're going to do. If they're already starting off by cheating, how do you think they're going to resolve your case? Are they going to go for the millions, or are they going to go for a few $1,000s and move on to the next shady deal? All right. I'm calling them out right now. 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID-LAW. The only number you need for good, respectable, honest, trustworthy attorneys that are ready to treat you like family instead of like a file. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity this week, today, and always, Squeeze. We really appreciate it.
Well, that's the reason why I'm David Squeezaniki. I squeeze it in. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for joining us. This is Cruising with the Case Handler, where I speak with multiple attorneys on a daily basis right here in the capacity of personal injury, immigration, and now even more. Recently, we had Fred DeSico on the program speaking on real estate, business law, and more. And we will have more attorneys on the show. So now, before we sign off of 93.5 FM at the top of the hour, but we're staying on Facebook, switch over to Facebook. My page is David Squeeze Anarchy, or you can switch to the Case Handler page, or Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico's page. That's PPID. Also, you can dial this number to get your free consultation right now off the air privately and confidentially. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We continue on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, right here on, of course, Cruising with the Case Handler. Make sure you check us out tomorrow, Saturday. We should call it, I don't know, man, blow up Saturdays, because we always blow up the
More
phone
like an assault. The phone calls that come in on a Saturday, it should be like Assault Saturday.
Saturdays, I mean, the first thing I speak about, although the show comes on at, 7 p.m., the first thing I speak about, like for 5-10 minutes, is about the firm Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico. I speak about them in the capacity, yes, obviously, of personal injury, because, I mean, seriously, do you really want to hire another attorney after Adam Handler? You really want to burn yourself? You really want to get less? You really want to think in your head, man, I could have gotten Adam Handler. He's not taking any money from me up front. I could have gotten, in my opinion, the best in the business, okay, to go for the maximum compensation, but I didn't, because, some other dude told me about the other guy that's on the station, or some gal told me to go use my friend down the block. No. This man has proven himself. But as Conrad would say in his own words, don't take my word for it. Don't take Adam's word for it. Go to the website, thecasehandler.com. Thecasehandler.com, and look at the results. Just look at the results. They're not, I mean, when I was younger, I used to hear about people getting settlements in the 5,000, the 10,000, the 20,000. I'm looking at Adam's site, and it's millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. So people, make sure you dial 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Adam, I need for you to share a true success story before we take on any immigration questions with Nelson and Conrad, if you don't mind. Yeah, once again, folks, please share the page as Adam pulls up the true success stories. Do me a favor and share the page on your friends' page, groups, pages, and so forth. Many people out there need immigration help. Many people out there need good attorneys, such as Adam Handler for personal injury. Many people need criminal defense, real estate, matrimonial. Some people want to get that divorce. Some people want to understand more about it. Okay. So make sure that you do that, ladies and gentlemen. Some people need to get the prenuptial or the postnuptial. Very important these days. Don't get married without one. Not giving any kind of love advice, but
I used to do a lot of family law, matrimonial law, and it was always a very interesting conversation about a postnuptial. I think I'm like 0 for 20 in getting the spouse to sign a postnuptial agreement. Good luck with that.
Postnuptial, right? No, not doing it.
The only instances I've ever heard about somebody signing a postnuptial is if there was some infidelity, and that was the only condition that the spouse was going to take them back. So let's share a little bit. This is an amazing story. Somebody that listens to us rather on Facebook. This is an important case. We've never talked about this case, Squeeze, you and I, but this is a case in which I think we need to actually talk about more on the radio side of the show. But we'll talk about it, and you'll remind me another day to do it. Can you read that quote for me?
It says here, the case handler team at Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico were there for us 100% of the way. They were very professional, and we give them 5 stars. Adam is more than just a lawyer. He's our guidance. Adam was always respectful to us, but he's stern in trial. That is the kind of lawyer you want and need. If my father was still here, he would hug Adam. no handshake. All right. He would hug Adam, the Harvey family from New York.
Right.
745,000 US greenbacks. That's what I'm talking about. And that's a medical malpractice case. Tell me more, Adam.
Let's talk about this case. Mr. Harvey was a immigrant from Jamaica, had lived in this country for probably about 30 years, and had done something when he first moved to the country that, wasn't, let's call it legal. It involved drugs, nothing serious, but, he was arrested on a drug charge. And when he went to apply for his citizenship, the fact that remained still sort of open, let's say, triggered a deportation proceeding, and he was detained by ICE. While he's detained by ICE, he's complaining about a week into his incarceration. He starts complaining about stomach pain. Went to the infirmary. They gave him some antacids. Week later, still complaining. They don't do anything. They won't even let him see the doctor. They said, you're just, uncomfortable getting used to the food here and the stress. Months and months go by. He's losing weight. He has, throwing up. He's got diarrhea. They do nothing. About 6 months later, finally, one of the doctors in the jail says, all right, you know what? This has been going on long enough. We'll write a prescription for you to see an outside GI doctor for a consult. And they do that, and he goes to see the GI doctor. The GI doctor's like, we've got to do some more testing. We've got to do an endoscopy to see really what's going on. Here's a script for it, and bring it back to the jail, because everything's coordinated through the jail. This is ICE, federal detainment. And he gives it to the head nurse there, and they start processing the papers, but forget to actually submit it for that outside consult. Weeks go by. He's complaining, what about my consult? What about my consult? Gets no response. Finally sees a doctor in the jail who realizes that he was supposed to have this consultation about 6 weeks before. I mean, this guy is going months and months of terrible, terrible pain and agony and not knowing what's happening to him. They immediately send him out for the test, stage 4 stomach cancer. The next day, they release him on his own recognizance to be with his family and live out his few remaining weeks with his family. They release him on his own recognizance, and he actually lived for another year. He survived cancer for a year, but then ultimately died. We brought a malpractice case against the nurses and the medical staff at the jail, the Orange County Jail. And we also brought a federal action against ICE for inhumane and cruel and inhuman treatment while being incarcerated. And the case settled during trial for $745,000. Now, is that worth a life? Of course not. His life was worth more than that. But the way the law is stacked up to protect the government, it was making it almost impossible for the judge. There's no jury in this case. It's just a bench trial when you sue the government. Almost impossible for the judge to make an award to fully compensate him, just because the government is insulated from liability from the nurses, from the jail. And we worked out the best possible deal we could, which is a life changer for the family. And the family literally had nothing. They were living in a rat-infested apartment because this gentleman was the breadwinner of the family. He used to drive a FedEx truck, paid his taxes every year, contributed to society, and of course to his family. So we were absolutely able to change life. And, it just shows our passion for representing immigrants. I mean, I don't care if you're out of status, if you're from Mexico or the moon. If you're here in the United States and somebody's doing you wrong, like ICE did, like the jail did in this particular case, we are going to hold you accountable. And that's exactly what we did in this case. One of the most important cases I've ever worked on in my career. I'm sorry that it got buried in all these other, we go through these cases of mine, picture after picture, millions after millions, thousands after thousands. And these are all individual stories. And now I'm feeling a little guilty that we haven't expounded on all of these, but we'll get to them. But every single case you see here is a story. Every single case you see here is a successful result for somebody or the family of somebody that had one chance to get it right. One chance, one choice. They chose the case handler team, and that's why we're able to show a wonderful result on this show. So thank you for letting me talk personal injury for a few minutes. I'm sure you can see I'm extremely passionate about what I do, and hats off to the Harvey family for having the courage to stand up to the government and to find a lawyer that was willing to do the same thing.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I made Adam talk because that was a very touching case that he handled, and I must once again commend you for what it is that you're doing, Adam. You are doing a magnificent and a phenomenal job at PPID as the case handler. And I do appreciate you doing the show, Cruising with the Case Handler, for the community and beyond. And once again, folks, share the number. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you're listening this on radio, wherever you are, okay, make sure you store this number. God forbid you get hurt in an accident, medical malpractice, slip and fall, construction accident, you get hurt, you need to call 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Dial that number. You only need one law firm now. Okay, that's what we're giving you. You only need one law firm. We've got different departments at this law firm. Everyone is, in their own department and profession, capacity rather. So if it's immigration, it's immigration. So you got an attorney or attorneys for that. The same thing with personal injury. The same thing with real estate. So make that call. 844-774-3529. Okay. My immigration attorney friends, are you ready for some questions here?
Sure.
Let's go.
That's like asking if
Bring
the
it
sky
on.
is blue. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right. How will the executive order that goes in effect for 60 days affect someone who already did their biometric for their adjustment of status and now waiting for work permit and social?
Well, it sounds like that person's in the United States, in which case it won't have any effect on them. The ban only applies to people that are outside the United States in certain circumstances. So he's home free, assuming everything else went well. He should be fine.
Good. All right. Once again, that answer came from Conrad Pollock, the maestro, answering that immigration question. The number is 844-774-3529. Call for a free consultation. 844-774-3529. Here's one for you, Nelson or Conrad, if you guys want to take this one. I am an American and my daughter's father is not. We have been dating for 4 years. We recently got engaged and he overstayed on his visa in America and he's interested in getting his green card. His passport expired. What's the best and fastest way to get my fiance a green card?
Get married.
There you go. It's as simple as that, right?
They're going to get married and they're going to submit their applications for adjustment of status. He'll get his permission to work in roughly 6 months. Interview probably year and a half from now. I mean, it's hard. Timing is difficult right now because the Immigration Service has been closed now for a while. In fact, they're scheduled to reopen on June 4th in New York, at least. I don't know if they've been working locally on these types of cases, but typically before the pandemic hit, situation like that, they get an interview in roughly a year, and as I said, work authorization in about 6 months. My guess is it's going to probably take a little longer going forward. So, but they do need to get married, and at that point, they have a case that they could do, and at that point, they should give us a call.
Well, I'm sorry, just to add to what Conrad said, Squeeze, they will need a declaration of self-sufficiency.
That's for sure.
Okay, so that on a case like that, it would behoove them, right? If you want it quick and done right, hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Hire PPID.
That's
All
right.
right,
Okay.
let's correct that. Don't hire any other attorney. Hire Nelson. Hire Conrad. Okay, we're the ones talking about it. All right, and we talk about it every day. We're not going to stop talking about it. I promise you that. So if you're watching this right now, text someone and say you got to hire PPID for your immigration matters. All right, the number 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Here's one for you, Nelson. Good morning. I have a friend who is a Jamaican that visited the US and overstayed. He got papers that was not in his name, and he was arrested under the fake name. He skipped probation and came back to Jamaica. That was about 10 years ago. What must he do before applying for a US visa?
There's a lot going on in that case.
Yes.
Obviously he's got fraud. I want to add something, and unfortunately this is somewhat of a common theme. A lot of people think, I get arrested, I give another name, they're never going to know. Your fingerprints only belong to you. So you could have been arrested 5 times, given 5 different names, and think you're going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. Applying for a visa will be difficult. And if he gets the visa, there's a high likelihood he could actually be arrested entering the United States, because I would imagine that there's a warrant out for his arrest. So it's not something I would personally recommend.
Not to mention the fact that the person was in the United States. I don't remember if he said how long he was in the US, but
Right.
he was in the US obviously for a lengthy period of time illegally. And once he fills out that visa application at the consulate in Kingston, unless he lies about that, which I don't recommend, once they determine or discover that he was in the country illegally for whatever period of time it was, the chances of him getting a visa are slim to none, even without the criminal issue.
Got you. Once again, folks, cruising with the Case Handler, personal injury, immigration. And I've got my top immigration attorneys here, and I am showing off because there's absolutely no other immigration attorney out there that's anywhere near as good as them. Different class by themselves. Right now, dial this number, 844-774-3529. How many of you, will be getting a free consultation anywhere else with an attorney with the magnitude of experience that these gentlemen have? Make sure you dial this number, put them to the test. Conrad challenges you every day to ask him a question. Nelson wants you to ask him that question too. Make the call. The number once again is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let's get back to another question here with Nelson Madrid, aka the Maverick, and Conrad Pollock, aka the Maestro, as they answer immigration questions here on Cruising with a Case Handler, brought to you by the law firm Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico. Here's another question. I am the beneficiary of a F3 visa, US visa, but petitioner died. Can you tell me what my options are?
Well, first off, an F3 is not a visa, it's a category. It's an immigrant classification, meaning family-based third preference. What that is the adult married son or daughter of a US citizen. So let's be clear on that. Now, if the parent, let's say he's the father, I think he said father, if the father died, it's going to depend on how far along that visa petition process has gone, number one. It's also going to depend on where the applicant is, where the beneficiary is. If he's in the United States, he might be able to proceed depending on some other answers to questions I would have. If he's not in the United States, he's out. Number one, he's subject to the ban. Right? That goes without saying. He's subject to the ban, so that'll be delayed for whatever period of time that the ban is in effect for. Number two, the law on that particular subject, if he is, it's under what's called the widow law. Nelson, I'm sure you remember that too. If the applicant, the beneficiary, is not in the United States and the petitioner, his father, dies, the case is done. Now, he can apply to reinstate, in fact, if the consulate finds out that his father died and he's outside the United States, the consulate will cancel that case. They will close out the case. It is possible to make an application to renew that visa application, that approval, based on humanitarian grounds. He would have to demonstrate why, based on humanitarian reasons, the consulate or the immigration service would allow him into the United States. Not an easy thing to do in normal times. These days, highly unlikely. But that's if he's not in the United States. If he's in the United States, he may have a chance to proceed with that case, but it's going to depend on a lot of factors. Number one, when did he file that visa petition and how far along is it? Is the visa petition approved? Is the priority date current? Cases like that, third preference, take, 10 years? How far along is that case? If it hasn't been pending that long and his father died, it's not going to be much you can do about it in the interim because his priority date is not current. We need more details. So what I would suggest to that person, give us a call.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, Cruising with the Case Handler, we're speaking on immigration now. Earlier, you heard from Adam Handler, the case handler himself, speaking about that case, ladies and gentlemen, medical malpractice case, which was a very touching one for me. Right now, the firm, Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico, okay? And I'm saying this, I say they're a kick-ass firm, meaning that, ladies and gentlemen, I need attorneys who can kick butts, okay? Adam Handler is kicking butts. Nelson and Conrad is kicking butts because they want for you to get your status sorted out in the United States. There's no one better, in my opinion, right now that can handle your case as well as they can. So that's the reason why I say, here we go again, it would behoove me not to tell you to call PPID now. The number, ladies and gentlemen, to get a 100% free consultation. Love saying that. 844-774-3529. The number to get that personal injury attorney is 844-774-3529. The number to get that criminal defense attorney is 844-774-3529. The number to get that matrimonial attorney is 844-774-3529. The number to get that real estate attorney, 844-774-3529.
By the way, Squeeze, you just reminded me, we do have a criminal attorney associate at our firm, Greg Pinto. He's going to be coming on the program next week. I don't remember exactly what day it
Yeah, I'm
was
going
at.
to text him now. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, but he'll be coming on next week, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners out there are going to be interested to hear what he has to say.
And a little correction for all three of you attorneys there. You have criminal defense attorneys, not criminal attorneys.
That's true.
Look at the time. Look at the
You
time.
know, I just had to squeeze that.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Squeeze, to cover our ass.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, no problem. Once again, folks, the show is called Cruising with the Case Handler. It's brought to you by a major law firm in Manhattan, okay, at 225 Broadway. Listen to this part, on the 3rd floor, all right? 844-774-3529. You do not need any other law firm. You go to them, they'll deal with your situation. They've got an attorney in every department, leading that department, handling the business, and I love having them on the show. It makes me want to show off even more.
Squeeze, don't
Right.
forget, we have offices elsewhere too. We have an office up in
Oh,
Westchester.
yes, I
Eastfield,
keep
and
forgetting that.
We have an office in Brooklyn on right off McDonald Avenue on Avenue I. Remember, I'm a Brooklyn boy. I spent half my life in Brooklyn growing up. Sheepshead Bay, Brighton Beach, Coney Island. Those are my childhood stomping grounds. All right.
Absolutely.
We opened an office this past year in Brooklyn on Avenue I, right off McDonald Avenue. Bus stop. I don't know how many different bus stops there, and the train stops right there. And we are there. And as soon as this pandemic is over, we'll be back there.
As a matter of fact, I've got a couple of ideas. One, Adam,
Yo, buddy.
let's have Team Squeeze create some creatives for this session here, so we can just pop it up on the screen, which shows the office locations and so forth, and the work hours and all of that. I think that's a good idea. So in between our talk, while we're talking, we can throw that up.
Absolutely.
The other one is, why don't we do a couple of live broadcasts from the offices? That would be pretty cool on a Saturday or even a weekday. I mean, a Friday evening or whatever, do a couple of broadcasts, where we just get in there and people see us live in the office broadcasting and talking about immigration, personal injury, criminal defense. We can do that. We're going to go into the community, especially Brooklyn, man. I'm ready,
That'll be fun.
Okay, there you go. If I'm going to Peekskill, I better be doing other things. All right. So I'm just letting you know that, Conrad. All right. Here's another one. Hi, I would like to know if I marry a U.S. citizen and divorce him. This lady's asking, and divorce him. Okay. That means she will need the matrimonial department. After I get my green card and then marry another citizen, will that be a problem?
Absolutely. It's also a very common fact pattern. Immigration is not stupid. It's very convenient, very coincidental that you marry someone, get a green card, divorce him, and then end up marrying someone else. Typically, cases like that, if she were to apply for citizen, first of all, if she married him and applied for a green card, she'd likely get a conditional green card, which meant the green card would be valid for only 2 years. 3 months before the 2 years, she'd have to file an application to remove the conditions. At that time, she'd have to demonstrate either that she's still with him, or at the time they were married, it was a real marriage. Obviously, let's assume she got a divorce and she were able to get a permanent green card. If she decided to apply for citizenship, this will come up. Immigration will catch the fact that she was married to someone for less than 2 years, got a green card, divorced him shortly thereafter, and married someone else. Also, those marriage-based cases are not as simple as it may sound. Immigration does look into some of those cases. It's somewhat random, but I have heard of situations where immigration shows up at the house, knocks on a neighbor's door, shows a picture and basically says, do you know this person? When was the last time you saw this person? Immigration fraud is not something I would recommend or be a part of. It's just not something she should do.
Okay. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, make that call now to 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. What you can do for us, as Adam would say, tip your waiter. And Adam would say by tipping your waiter, it means to call the phone number. I think you should share the phone number with someone. Share the phone number with someone who need the help. Okay, that's how you're going to tip me. All right, you can tip Adam by calling the number 844-774-3529. You can tip Conrad the same way, and Nelson. But you can tip me by sharing this with everyone that you know that need help in the immigration capacity. Maybe share it so that, God forbid, an accident happened, they have Adam Adler. Okay, criminal defense, real estate. We're talking about immigration now, and I want for people to understand this is the firm. They're located at 225 Broadway in New York City. All right, so let's get it done. All right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, right now, okay, let's ask one more question before we conclude. Can I file for the father of my children? If he was deported, not because he did something in the US, but he was wanted in Jamaica, his case is now dismissed, and he has 3 US citizen kids. What are our options?
I'm not really following that question. So why was he deported?
It didn't say. Well, can I file for the father of my children if he was deported? Not because he did something in the US, but he was wanted in Jamaica. I'm not yet. So I see what you're saying. They did not say why he was deported from the United States.
That's right. You don't just get deported from the United States.
Right,
okay. Right. And we have represented people in the past who have been charged with crimes in their country, but were never actually found guilty. I don't know that the United States actually gets involved in situations like that. I'm not sure the United States is actually aware. And again, you just don't get deported. Something has to trigger a deportation.
You want to know what? Sorry,
but also, I'm sorry, Squeeze. Let's assume that person wasn't deported, that he just left. Or maybe they, who knows? The thing is, deported or not, in order for this woman to apply for the father of her kids, they have to be married, right? There has to be a relationship, right? You can't just say, well, he's the father of my kids and I want to get him a green card. It doesn't work that way. There has to be a family relationship. And the typical family relationship is spouse, parent, minor children, adult children, with certain exceptions and rules, right? But she would need to marry him, whether he was deported or not. If she wants to get him back in the United States, she's going to need to marry him, submit a visa petition for him, and get the process going. Right? If he was deported, they'll need a waiver. There'll be all kinds of different processes involved. It's going to be a complicated case, but of course, if he was deported, we would need to know why. That makes a very big difference. But if he wasn't, and he just left, and he had been in the United States illegally for whatever period of time, when he left the United States, he subjected himself to a 10-year bar to return into the U.S. Basically, if you're in the United States, whether you came in illegally or came on a visa and overstayed, if you leave on your own, deported or not, if you leave on your own, you are subject to a 10-year bar to coming back to the United States, and you need a waiver to overcome that bar, or you have to wait 10 years. He certainly is subject to that bar, whether he was deported or not. It gets complicated, but it's doable. It's a type of case that we see on a regular basis at the office, and I like to think that we know how to handle it.
Squeeze, I just want to add to what
Go ahead,
Conrad
take your
said.
time. Yeah.
You know, there's not much we haven't seen at this point. I mean, you know, we've been on the show for, I think, 2.5 weeks. There's not many questions that Conrad or I cannot answer that are immigration,
Haven't been any.
that are immigration related.
Right, zero.
I mean, you know, so I think that says a lot. And I just wanted to point that out. I mean, again, but this is how we work. You know, and if they do happen to ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I will defer to Conrad and vice versa.
Vice versa.
Right.
But that's very rare, right?
Yeah.
Well, you see, you tell me. You remind me of the first question that we haven't been able to answer in the last 15 days. You tell me.
You know what?
Listen, I had a client, Squeeze, just very quickly. I had a client come into my office for a consultation and she asked me a question and I gave her the answer and she was just staring at me. And I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "You're the fourth attorney I met with and the only one who could give me an answer on the spot." She said, "Another attorney was charging me $1,500 to research the issue. You are telling me right now that you know that there's something I can do and you've handled a case like mine in the past." Again, we've been doing this for a while. You know, a lot of people, you know, when you have a big problem, I don't know many people that go to a small firm. Most people go to a big firm where there's multiple attorneys working on the case. And I think that's an example of the experience, you know, and I told her, I said, "Look, I've done your type of case before. I don't need to do research." And she signed up right away and we presently represent her. So, you know, I would definitely say, I think we're good at what we do.
I love this. I loved it. I was going to interrupt you guys earlier and I was smiling about it because it's so good to see when a question is asked that one, you guys are eager to answer it. Two, it's just rolling off your tongue. I mean, there's no hesitation. You know, I actually have worked in the past with other attorneys in the capacity of immigration, and they're going for the books. You know, they're going for the books. You guys are just like rolling it off. And I like that. And you guys are very straightforward. If more information is needed, you just say it up front, straight up, you call. So that individual who just asked that question, what I'm saying to you, call the firm, 844-774-3529, and ask the question directly with the attorneys off the air, privately, confidentially. All right. I think this is a phenomenal thing that we're doing. I truly believe that this is a community forum. It's a name that I want to use from time to time here. It is really a community forum, and people are getting a wealth of information that can and will change their lives when it comes to immigration and personal injury. Ladies and gentlemen, we needed this. We have it now. All I can simply say to you is share it with everyone, every single person. Even if you're watching this and you're not actually in the tri-state area and you need immigration help, still call the firm. They can represent you wherever you are in the world. Why? Because immigration is federal. So make the link, make the call, ladies and gentlemen, and go with PPID. The other thing that I'd like to say to a lot of people out there, and this is very, very important. Many of you are saying, yes, I'm going to get a free consultation and I am going to go do it myself, or I'm going to try to get it done myself, or go somewhere else. Now, your conscience is going to eat you alive when you realize you should have gone only with PPID. I'm not saying this to stroke them, but ladies and gentlemen, my research has been done. I have worked with the case handler, the man who has settled over $100 million when it comes to accident cases, personal injury. So why would I give you, attorneys that don't know what they're doing? These guys, I mean, Conrad's got 35 years of experience doing immigration. Okay, Nelson, over 13 years, and they're with a firm that's been around for well over 50 years.
Sounds right.
So come on. Make that call right now, 844-774-3529. Even if it's not for you, share the number with someone. Share this page with someone, 844-774-3529. Before we close out, I'd like to say thanks to the Team Squeeze. That happens to be the people who are watching us every day and sharing it on other pages. I want to say thanks to our marketing team, whether that be Ali and Ruthie, and Tracy. Tracy's the one I share in well over 21 pages. When I share, all my other entities and everything. And Tracy goes around and grabs the immigration questions from all these pages and she forwards them to me and I read them off to you. So once again, I want to say thanks to everyone. It has been a great week. It has been a phenomenal week, a lot of information. We will be on tomorrow on 93.5 FM in New York, WVIP. And once again, just call the firm, okay? And retain them. That's what I was getting to earlier. Retain them. Don't just do the free consultation. Retain them. Hire them, all right? Don't burn yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not, all right? Hire them. Work it out with them, okay? Ask them about a payment plan. Ask them about how much of a deposit you got to put down. Ask them if you can get a discount. We really want for you to do the right thing. And I know going with this firm, you are doing the right thing. Okay. Before we go, who's the Shermanator? I was hearing that earlier and I was trying to understand what that was all about. Who's the Shermanator? What's that all about? What's going on?
The Shermanator is the kid from American Pie. It's the
yeah, I remember that kid. Yeah.
You'll have to see.
How did that come about?
So the Shermanator is one of our more recent additions to the team. She's an excellent attorney, very knowledgeable on immigration law. In fact, she was doing immigration law while in law school, and she will be on the show next week.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. So, folks, you see what I'm saying? Every week, something different, something new pops up, whether it's the declaration of sufficiency or whether it's a real estate attorney, whether it's the Shermanator coming on board, something's always happening, right? Adam Handler, man, this is a great thing. But, we got to remind people, they get hurt, you've got to go to Adam Handler, all right? The most celebrated personal injury attorney within the community. Thank you all so much, gentlemen. We must remind you that this has been an attorney advertisement brought to you by the law firm Pollock, Isaac, and DeSico. And also, of course, prior to us that guarantees similar outcome. But I, David Squeezaniki, and thousands of clients who have gone to the firm would love for you to choose PPID because we know what it is that we're getting from them. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Once again, the number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Don't forget, each and every single weekday at 8:30 a.m. on 93.5 WVIP FM and Facebook pages, David Squeezaniki, and also, of course, PPID's page, and also the Case Handler page, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 12 noon, 93.5 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the Maestro to take us out with something on the keyboards. There you go. The Maestro, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask him to do the intro and the outro.
He's like the, you know what? We should start him doing. It's like being at Madison Square Garden. Whenever I'm talking about a case, he should be like, dun, 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 PPID. All right, guys, have a good weekend.
Thank you all so much. It's been great. All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.